Divas! Hope you're all fierce. Welcome to The Performer's Path, the podcast where we delve into the highs and lows of the performance industry and beyond. If it's using your creative juices for onstage, in auditions, or those in between jobs, we discuss it all with real people in the industry who've been there and got the t-shirt as a gift. By discussing audition rejections and success, we're taking away the fear of the unknown, whilst also giving vital tips for success. So let's tread the boards together in this week's episode. I am thrilled to welcome Elliot Parkes, an incredibly talented performer and an ex-student who has graced some of the most prestigious stages on the London's West End. Elliot's path in musical theatre is a testament to the power of embracing errors and turning them into stepping stones towards success.
Hello.
Hello, darling. Talk to us about your career. Where did you start off?
So I started off on ships. I left the Hammond, I think it was like 3/4 of the way through grad year actually, and went straight to Royal Caribbean, where I did my first contract there. Then I left 3/4 of the way through that. Not because of anything, but I mean, to get a bit deep, my dad passed. So that was the reason why I left there. But then I jumped straight back on a ship quite soon after, maybe too soon, who knows. But then did some ships with Celebrity, did creation with them, where I stayed in Miami and built the shows that went on the ships there. That was the start.
Why would you say it was too soon for you to go back, love?
I don't know. I think now looking back on it in hindsight, I think it could have been too soon. I think I should have just taken the time just to process the emotions and the feelings that I was probably feeling. So much was happening, and so much of it was happening at such a speed that I thought I had to also be acting as fast in A, my career, B, my personal life. And I think with the career part, I thought if I stop, that's it. I'm not going to carry on, or the industry won't allow me to carry on.
So that fear was there, was it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fear was there. I was still so fresh out of college. Like I was still learning everything on my own. When you're in college, you're in a bubble, and not a negative bubble either. Like a really lovely one where you've got friends and you've got relationships and connections, and you're in such a supportive environment there.
You feel safe.
Oh, absolutely. You do feel safe. And then when you kind of detach from it and you're on your own, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. But it's like being scared and being excited are the same feeling. And I think if you can channel it into excitement, then that it makes it so much better.
I don't remember who told you to do that.
Not too sure. I don't know who told me to do that. Change that fear into excitement by pushing onto a wall and breathing out for 3 seconds, which I've taken into every audition that I've ever gone into.
Do you still do that?
100%. Before I go on for any show and I'm about to do something, if I go on for a cover, I have to close the door to wherever I am, push against the wall as hard as I can, and breathe really deeply in and out, and just push everything out. And as soon as my last bit of breath has gone out, I go on. It's worked, and I couldn't tell you why or how, but it's one of those things. And it was you that taught it me. You taught me, and at first I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And now I'm like, actually, it really works.
People look at me. I still teach that. I do one-to-ones with performance psychology now, and I do one-to-ones, and I teach them that, and they look at me gone out like I've got 16 heads, never mind 3.
There's a different type of nervous energy in college, I feel. In college, you're nervous because you want to succeed 24/7, which rightfully so as well. You want to get the best grades. You want to be the best you can be in college, because when you leave, there's no more training unless you actively put yourself in class or in singing lessons or in acting lessons, or you go and see shows that feed you information that you can go, okay, I like the way that person spoke that line. Maybe I can keep focused on that person and see how their track moves and see what they're doing with their mannerisms and stuff, and take that into my audition or my performance or stuff. Like, but in college, it's taught and it's fed to you, and you're nervous because you want to succeed. But when you're on your own, it's a different type of energy, because at the end of the day, you're trying to book a job to pay a bill as well. You know, we all need money, but
gotta eat.
we all got to eat. So it's a different type of nervous energy, but it's also exciting because you're going into a room of people that you may not have met before. You're going into an audition room with people who are all in the same boat as you. You're all there to have a bit of fun, and that's the most exciting part about it. Yes, it's nerve-wracking, of course it is, but it's nerve-wracking for all the right reasons. You're not going in there nervous because you think you're going to go wrong. You're going in there nervous because of what's to come, I think, and that actually is just excitement.
And do you think it's a case of you don't know what's about to come?
Yeah, absolutely. You have no idea what the director or the choreographer may throw at you. I've been in rooms before where it was a vocal call, like kind of dressed to the character. I was in a shirt, pants, like very smart shoes. And they're like, right, we're just going to do a bit of movement. I was like, pardon? I was like, in this game, okay, fine, yeah, sure, do a bit of movement here. And it was full on like Backstreet Boys. I was like, oh no, this isn't. But it was fine. And it's that sort of nervous energy where you don't know how those next 10, 20 minutes, half an hour is going to play out. And it's all the case of just going in there, guns blazing, and just kind of saying to yourself before you go in. I think that's where that push comes from, is whatever happens, and you've got to laugh about it in the end. Like if you mess up or if you fall over or if you go wrong, just as soon as it happens, Control-Alt-Delete that section of the day, feel it. By all means feel it, because every feeling through what you do is so valid and so important to you as a person. But if it's a negative feeling, don't let it ruin your day. Just think, okay, that happened. Was it awful? Yes. Am I highly embarrassed? Absolutely. Will it happen again? Who knows? Can't say it won't. But am I going to let it happen in that moment? No. And then you kind of go, all right, well, move on. And that's it. And that's all you can do, and just kind of get on with your day.
I can remember you making a wonderful mistake in your graduate showcase.
Yes. I think I know which one you're talking about.
I think it was James Wilson piece, and you had a mask on. You were looking severe, and you were looking fierce, and you committed to that performance 1,000%. However, you stacked it so fast. You were in the front. I was at the front. And then all of a sudden, gone. But then I've never seen anyone get up so fast and then commit to the rest of that performance in my life. So when I was thinking about this episode, or this series of episodes we're going to do on mistake making and risk taking, the first person I thought of was you.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. I love it.
Complete and utter compliment. It's honestly the best one I could give you. It really is brilliant. It's about how you recover, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You got to get on with it. People paying to watch you. You can't just sit there. The more I'm thinking about it now, like the more I'm remembering that, like, it was. I don't remember what the move was, but I remember it being
all changed.
I do remember that. I remember going. I must have been a shoot. Something I slipped, and I hit the deck so hard, and I was like, "Get up!" I remember being at front, being like, "You can't look at anybody else either, so you must." I hope you know the choreo.
I hope you don't mind if we share this.
Please share away. Oh, it's all fun and games. That's the thing. Can't feel bad about it. Happened. Can't change it.
So what did you learn from it, though?
Calm down a bit. I don't know. It's the case of it is what it is. It is what it is. You can't change fate in those moments. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Let's face it, it's a live show then. You know it's live.
And if anything, it makes it more entertaining. It gives someone something to talk about.
Oh, bless him. He didn't half stack it.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, but didn't he half get up quick?
Oh, his face is a picture. Did you see it? It is that. And it's those moments, especially when you whack your leg, can't do it. But when people do whack their leg, and it's like whack and they carry on. Those ones are my favourite.
Happened to me in an audition. First audition I did, Buddy Holly, step back, man, arms are up in the air. Like I was committed. Like you, I was so committed. But the floor wasn't as committed as I was. And it was very, very wet from all the sweat.
On the bottom, yeah. Oh,
and my foot went underneath me. My arms stayed up. Smack down.
You've got to laugh about it.
But did they remember me? Yes, they remembered me.
Yes, they did. Good. No, there's been many a time where, regardless of choreography or singing or lyrics or acting, I have hands up, forgot. Absolutely.
Give us an example.
My favourite example at the moment. Now I'm really like able to laugh about it. West End Live. I don't remember what year it was. 3 years ago now, was it? I can't remember. A few years ago, basically.
I've done so many.
No! Oh my goodness me! No, because I haven't. That's the thing. I haven't.
I'm joking, Elliot. You know I am.
It was a few years ago, and I remember it being West End Live, and it was for Heathers the Musical, and I was very fortunate enough to be JD at the time, and I was playing against a really beautiful girl, Miracle, who's such a close friend now, and we were going on stage singing the biggest duet of the show in front of all these people who back then, crazy Heathers fans, we love them all, they're all absolutely incredible, but they know the show inside and out, probably better than I do still, yeah? And in that morning, we had rehearsals at the theatre. We then walked over to West End Live in our costume because there was nowhere to really get changed there, so it was a case of walking. Also, it was one of the hottest days of the year. Classic, it has to be. Has to be the hottest day of the year. In a trench coat. It was also Father's Day, so I was thinking, I remember saying to my dad, like when I was a kid, like if I was ever to do, when West End Live became a thing that I would start looking at or watching, especially when I was in the Hammond, musical theatre is always on the brain or theatre or something. And I remember thinking about West End Live when I was there, not really knowing what it was. I remember saying to him, I was like, I well want to do that. That seems so much fun. It's a bit of me, a bit of like concerty, a bit more rock and roll-y in a way of musical theatre. And he was like, you'll do it one day. And, after we passed, I said to myself, I was like, I'm going to do it one day. And it happened to be on Father's Day. And it blew my mind that it was that day. So that was running around in my brain. All the emotions all over the place, obviously. Like, excited, not nervous for it, because it's what it is. Like, it's so much fun. And I remember they did Candy Store first. So I was already waiting in the wing to go on. That finishes. And Candy Store is, if you know the show, that song is so iconic. And they did the cast, and they also did the understudies doing it at the same time, which is just beautiful because it showed that understudies are so valuable to shows as well. And then I go on and we start singing it. And I've been playing JD for a while now because unfortunately the guy who was JD fell ill for a bit, so I had to just take over for a second. And we were singing it back and forth. You've got them screaming at you, singing the song, but in a kind of delay because the feedback from here is you've got the monitors facing you, but then you've actually got what is going out there. You've got the cameras. We're singing it face to face, and I can see in her eyes that she's like, something's not coming. I don't know what the next lyric is. And I'm like, I don't know what the next lyric is actually. And it made me realize that actually I heavily depend on what she's doing in the moment. Both of us go completely blank in this moment. But then what feels like forever is a split second watching it back. But you just laugh about it. You've got to laugh about it. I think, and then we had to go and do 2 shows, so we had to snap out of it. We're like, we'll go and figure it out again. And then we did the 2 shows.
So you had 2 shows after West End Live.
Yeah, matinee and an evening show as well.
So if that was that mistake that you did, what did you learn from that? What did you take from it? Were you terrified singing the song again, or were
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Like I had to then always sing the song before I went on stage, backstage. I'd have to run through it once, kind of like double tempo, but doing other things, just to know that it's there, because there are times when your brain goes awry. You've done the show for a year, for instance, and you're like, there are times when you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm knackered today, absolutely knackered. You've done 8 shows in the week. It's a busy week. You've got West End Live, for instance, which is just technically like another show on top if you feel it. Emotionally and like physically, it's another show. And if anything, you're putting so much more into it because it's what it is. Then you've got with Heathers, it was 4 shows in the week, and then it was a double Saturday and a double Sunday, and West End Live was on the Sunday morning. So we did the double shows the night before, then we had West End Live, and then the double shows on the Sunday were a bit earlier. So it was straight in. Like we walked through backstage in our costumes. We just had to adjust our head mics. We had our head mics from the theatre in our bag. We just put them back on, and the show started within about 20 minutes. And it was the case of, right, I'm going to sit in the changing room really quickly and just run this song for my own purpose. So I know what I'm doing, because I was like, I rely on you far too much right now, which is such a bad thing on my behalf. I also need to be putting in the effort and going, I need to learn this just as much as you know this, which I think I just put that upon myself, being like, oh, Elliot, you don't know this. Oh, you know what I mean? You put yourself down about it, don't you? And actually, I did know it, and it was just everything that happened in the day when you look back on it. But no,
When
free the
things like
brain.
that happen, though, you've got you've got your dad in the background. You've got it's Father's Day. You've got that whole I promised that I would do this. You believed in me. You've got that whole focus of the audience. There's like the feedback as well being delayed. All of that. Of course, you're gonna lose focus. Do you use that technique now?
Oh, absolutely. For anything I do, okay, so for auditions, especially, I mean, for any show I've done, I've taken it into that now. But for auditions, especially, if I get, for instance, some material come through that I have to prep for, I've learned, I'm still learning, that any, say, script work I get, some people can just read it and they know it. For myself, I've learned now that it doesn't work like that for myself. So I have to find a way of learning it in my own brain, which is the case of me looking at it, writing it down, looking at it, didn't get it right, write it down again, and keep doing that over and over until I know it, which is fine. But then I have to then, if it's a song, for instance, or any piece of monologue, I'll go and do the dishes, or I'll go and tidy, or I'll polish the desk or something, just to make the subconscious part of my brain work more than the really active part of it, which is the part that knows that the conscious part, the part that actually just knows it. Because then I feel like I can actually add the acting and the storytelling side to it. We'll want to focus on that more anyway, because I know as a performer, especially in an audition room, when I left the Hammond audition room, I would stand there and just sing. And I wouldn't perform at all. Nothing was happening here. Because that is the nerve part of me going, I have to get this right, I have to get this right, I have to get this right. When actually now it's the case of just tell a story. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Who cares? As long as you're telling a story, I mean, who cares? Probably people do, but just tell the story and have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun, how are they going to have fun? Yeah?
Exactly.
And then there's also like some little things that I do, like I sing a song in the mirror, because then if I can convince myself that, or if I can believe in what I'm saying, then somebody else might be able to. Like, if I can't believe in what I'm saying, how am I supposed to expect somebody else to? You know? I don't know if that sounds silly, but it sounds silly enough.
Do you know what? We've got a load of people set up for this, and I'm sure that they will come up with their own versions of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Mine was I had to film it because I couldn't look in a mirror.
Yeah.
It was bad enough at college the whole time in front of these flipping mirrors. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And like another thing I'm starting to learn more and more is I'll get my partner to be like, right, I'm going to do this in front of you and just critique the hell out of me. Because if I can do it in front of you, I've got a better chance of doing it in front of people I don't know. It's like, I feel like a lot of performers find it hard to perform in front of their family.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what it is. Even like my partner, I find it hard to perform in front of him, but now I'm learning actually it's fine. And I'd rather be told actually that's not good. Because it's always nice to have another opinion. Because there's moments you think you're doing something potentially incredible, which it probably is. But actually, when somebody else watches it, go, oh, I don't really understand that moment there. Why are you doing that?
And I don't believe you in that bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I'll explain, oh, it's because this. And he's like, you shouldn't have to explain it. I should just know. And I'm like, very true. Let's change it. And then I'll workshop it. Because then I start believing it even more.
My mum used to say to me, because she'd come across to Germany, mum and dad, and they'd come across to Germany with their friends and they'd watch the shows and everything. Couldn't speak a baldy bit of German, obviously. But they'd watch the shows and they'd go, I knew that was a really good show because I could understand every word of it without having to understand the language of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's why it's so important to be able to really storytell in these moments.
All right, that's it for another episode. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And wherever you are on your performer's path, stay safe and sane, and let your creative light shine bright on whatever you do.